Now we will go through with effect of acceleration due to gravity g on the time period. How acceleration due to gravity and time period are related to each other. So if we wanted to go through with this relation, we must know t is equal to 2 pi under root L over g. So using this concept, the concept will be if a simple pendulum is made to oscillate in freely falling lift. When we say freely falling lift, it means g will be 0. So freely falling lift or a satellite or at the center of the earth, then g dash will be g minus a equal to 0. This is what I was discussing earlier, that in that case g will be 0. So a will be g in the free fall. So t is equal to 2 pi under root t over g, and g can be replaced by 10 meters per second square. This implies that the pendulum will not oscillate and will remain where left, as there will be no restoring force. Now we come towards another part. If a simple pendulum is accelerated in the lift. So we take the various concepts of lift as we have discussed earlier in the mechanics, that when lift is going up with acceleration a, then we use a formula r minus mg is equal to ma. Mg is taken to the other side, m is taken out common, and we will get that is m into g plus a. So while the body is going up, it will be g plus a, and while it is coming down, it should be g minus a. So if a simple pendulum is accelerated in lift, in accelerated lift, then t will be 2 pi under root of L over g, and this g will be effective value of acceleration due to gravity with reference to system of lift. And g effective is equal to net downward force divided by mass. So force over mass is always acceleration. So if the velocity of lift is constant, that tends to that a is equal to 0, that is acceleration is 0, and g effective will be equivalent to g, that is 10 meters per second square. In that case, t will be given as 2 pi under root L over g. If lift is moving up, as I have explained earlier, a is added to g, but if the lift is moving down, then a is subtracted from g. Therefore, if the lift is moving upward with acceleration a, the time period which is given as 2 pi under root L over g will be effectively written as t is equal to 2 pi under root L over g plus a. And in the other concept, if the lift is moving down, in that case g effective will be g minus a. It is mg minus r is equal to ma. From that equation we get g effective as g minus a. So t is equal to 2 pi under root L over g, but g is g minus a in our equation. So we write the equation as t is equal to 2 pi under root L over g minus a. Other concept is that if lift falls downwards freely, then A is equal to G. So G effective will be 0 and T will be infinity. That is, tension is infinite, that is indeterminate. Any number of the form 0 by 0 or number by 0, or it is number by 0, that is supposed to be undefined function, and that is infinity. If car is accelerated horizontally with acceleration A and pendulum is attached to its ceiling, that is on the top portion, then in that case, as it is shown in the figure, G is acting vertically down, A is at right angles to G, and the car is turning or car is making a round. In that case, acceleration is to one end, G is acting vertically down, and plus A is acting towards the right in the direction of the vehicle, and G effective is the diagonal of minus A and G. So G effective will be given in that case A square plus G square by using Pythagoras theorem and completing the figure. So in that case, T will be equal to 2 by under root L over G, but G effective will be under root A square plus G square. So instead of 2 pi under root L by G. G can be replaced by A square plus G square under root. So it is 2 pi under root L over G effective. If the simple pendulum has a charge Q, now pendulum has charge Q, the moment we say it has charge, it means electric field comes into action. Electric field is force per unit charge. Force per unit charge. So it is, if we say E is equal to force per unit charge, then it means that EQ will be equal to force. So force in that case will be estimated by EQ, which is opposite to G, in the direction of G, or in the perpendicular to G. Three different cases are there. So in the first case, when it is opposite to G, electrostatic force QE. How we got QE? Because electric field is F over Q. So F is equal to EQ. It is opposite to the force of gravity, which is mg. And from that we get the value of G dash, that is G minus, and it is QE over m. What is QE? It is force, and force over mass is called acceleration. So G minus A, we wanted to write G minus A, but A is replaced by EQ over m. Now from this equation we get T is equal to 2 pi under root L over G dash. G dash decreases, so T increases. The similar interpretation we gave in the second table, that is, if the body is moving in the direction of G, electrostatic force QE is in the direction of force of gravity. So QE is in the direction of mg. So two forces are in one direction. So we add them. Therefore, G dash is taken as G plus QE over m. QE means force due to electric field, and force over m is acceleration. So we got the value of T, that is T will be equal to 2 pi under root L over G dash. Whereas G dash increases, so T decreases because it is in the denominator. Perpendicular to G, so electrostatic force QE is perpendicular to force of gravity. So QE means force with respect to electric field, and force of gravity mg. So G dash will be equal to G square plus QE over m the whole square, and from this we get the value of T, that is 2 pi under root L over G dash, and for G dash we can compute the value which is given to us. So from that we make a conclusion that G dash increases, so T decreases.